Hey, what's going on? Welcome to G-Ball Vision. Today we're taking a first look at a new knife coming in from Artisan Cutlery, and from what I've seen, this might be their boldest design so far in 2025. Now, while I get this opened up, let me know down in the comments what your carry is. You always get a nice unboxing experience from Artisan. Very good packaging. You get all the little bells and whistles. This is going to be the newly released Artisan Cutlery Beest, and that is with 2 E's. Now, right off the get-go, you can see this looks like a pretty interesting knife. Now, I didn't dive into this wholeheartedly, but I did look into it a little bit. These are available now. There's a couple of different versions, and from what I remember seeing in a spot or two, they're right around the $200 price point. We are going to be looking at S35VN. I did see that. And this has a beautiful stonewash blade. It almost reminds me of kind of a Ray Laconico design. Not quite in the handle per se, but with the kind of cutout and front flipper combo. Not that he owns that or anything, but it just kind of reminded me of a Ray Laconico. It's not his design, though. I'm not 100% sure who that is. I'll pop it up on screen. We have nice access to the frame lock there, and that is chamfered off. It would have been nice to have some like fine jimping on that lock bar just to make it look and feel a little better even. We do have titanium all the way around, and this has some really cool milling. That's what I thought was pretty attractive. The pivot, the milling, and just this little inlay of carbon fiber. I thought it looked like a really interesting knife here. Not what we typically see, and that's something I really look forward to. We do have a milled tie clip here, and it looks like that is going to be reversible. That has a hidden screw in there, and you'll be able to pop that filler tab off and flip that pocket clip around. Very nice touch. As far as the action goes, it's almost kind of like that Demco cutout and stud combo. You can almost tuck in underneath the stud and use the cutout, so it works really good on both sides of the knife. And then you also have a front flipper there. It's right in line with the top of the frame, and that's going to work pretty good. The detent is tuned nicely. I think the front flipper probably should have been brought up just a little bit higher, and that wouldn't have been an issue. And maybe that's not designed to be a front flipper. I've seen cases where you have this type of nubbin, but it's mainly just so the blade will hit the stop pin. So it could be that it's not a front flipper as well. If it was intended to be one, I would have liked to have seen that raised up just a little higher and curved around the back of that lock bar. But as far as the cutout and studs go, this has a really nice action to it, especially if you stay off of that lock bar there. Kind of a different cutout as well. It's got like a angle, like a hexagon. Don't really see that a whole lot. Let's get a closer look here at this knife, and we'll see what kind of specs we're looking at here. We have about 7. We need to come that way just a touch. So we're at about 7 7/8 overall, and just shy of 3.5 on the cutting edge, more like 3 7/16, and we are at 3 5/8 of total blade. So pretty good size. And to put that in a little bit of perspective for you, I'll bring out some knives to compare this with, and we have the Kaiser Militaw up top and the Kaiser Drop Bear here on the bottom, and it's going to be much more in line with something like the Militaw, coming in at almost 8 inches. I like that, and I like to see beyond that as well, but getting up to 8 is a good start. And 2 more, we got the Vosteed Raccoon up top here and the Spyderco Para 3 on the bottom, and it's going to be quite a bit bigger than the Para 3 on both ends and more in line with something like the Raccoon. Next up, we're going to take a look at this pocket clip here using our hank, get an idea of what it looks like in the pocket, and see how it kind of interacts with the seam here. And that's what it'll look like down in the pocket there. You'll have a little bit poking out, and that is actually something I enjoy most often, or more often, is something I can easily grab a hold of. Now, there are definitely occasions where I prefer a deep carry. It just kind of depends on the situation at hand, and that is always going to be how that rolls as far as the carry goes, what your situation is, and everyone will be different. Like I said, this is going to be left-hand friendly. Now, next up, we're going to get the arch nemesis off the shelf here, and we're going to give this thing a little weight check. Now, it's going to be pretty light, and here on the channel, if you're not familiar, I like to guess the weight of the knives, and you're more than welcome to play along if you want to put down in the comments what you think this weighs. Even if you already commented your EDC, multiple comments are welcomed. I'm going to say that they kept this directly in line or really close with that blade. It's light. It might even be lighter. I'm going to say 3.3. And it might be lighter. Ooh, it is. No kidding. They got this bad boy under 3 ounces. Coming in at like 2.8, 2.9 ounces. And that is really nice for a knife like that. There, in that size range, coming in at almost 8 inches, 80 grams. That is a nice lightweight knife there at that size. And it's not overly bulky. We're going to check that blade stock here. I want to see what we're looking at. And we'll get our calipers out here. And we are zeroed off there. Let's see what we're looking at. And, ooh, coming down there around 123. And we'll get a average here, or an idea, I should say, of the behind the edge, and that's coming down there around 21 thousandths right there in that particular spot with that particular hold. But let's see how this knife cuts out of the box. Let's see if this can live up to its Beast name here. And going to be a pretty good poker, going to be a pretty versatile blade shape overall. And coming in S35, which is a really well-rounded steel. It's good and stainless. It's very corrosion resistant, and it has good edge retention. So you kind of have all three of the main attributes you tend to look for. And where some people might not consider S35 a super steel anymore, I think that's an irrelevant, that's a really... I think that super steel thing, there's definitely steels you can classify that as, but let's be 100% realistic. It's just more of a want than anything. As far as what you'll get from one to the next is probably minimal, except for the least and the most, right? And a few odds and ends in there. But S35... all things considered, is a very well-rounded steel in all three phases, and it's going to be easy to sharpen up. So, or it's going to be a lot easier than some of these super steels that are out there. It'll be a lot easier to sharpen S35 up than something like Crewwear or M4. At least that is my experience. You'll have to let me know if yours is different. We are perfectly centered up there. And I got to say, it's different that the studs are where they are. But they work really good because you can get a ton of leverage on them. It's chamfered out below, so you can come up right underneath. And once you kind of get situated on this knife, which it takes time for you to get used to a knife. Could take a couple minutes, could take a couple of days, but once you kind of get settled in, and I love this 50-50 area here. Sharpening choil, I mean, looks good from my house. Let's see if Artisan can give us a good solid lockup here on this knife. We're going to go about 50%, it looks like, and that is a good healthy lockup. Any detent lash? A little bit there. You get a little bit of movement, but that could definitely vary from one knife to the next. Let's see what we're looking at here with this lock. I don't really feel anything. Maybe a slight wiggle, like not wiggle, but a slight something. Let's start off light up towards the tip here. Okay. Close it and check it. We'll give it some harder smacks here in the middle. And that's sounding and looking pretty damn good. Good. Very good. Good job. Nice. I do like this. The Beast. I don't really, is it a Beast because it cuts really well? I guess we'll have to see about that. But you guys will have to let me know what you think of the Beast here. Does this look like something that would be worthy of your rotation? Or is this something you would leave sitting in the store? I look forward to hearing from each one of you. Make sure you share this video with all your friends and family. They're definitely going to want to know about the latest Artisan Cutlery release called the Beast. Hit the thumbs up for me. I greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy knife and EDC content, well, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe. I'd love to have you here. And if you are a new viewer of the channel, leave a comment down below. That way we can welcome you to the family properly here. I'd love to have you. I'm going to pop a couple of new videos up on your screen. Go check one of them out for me. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.